All right, we're going to keep going. We've got our last panel for tonight. I'm very excited for this panel because we have two incredible Akanksha alumni, Shlok Sadlapurkar, who is a research assistant at Vanderbilt University, and Shruti Belitkar, research assistant at Brigham and Women's Hospital. But before they come up on stage, please could you help me welcome on stage the CEO, the current CEO of Akanksha Foundation, and my new best friend, Saurabh Taneja. Kill it.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm an engineer by education, but I'm a teacher by passion. And just like I started every single class of mine, I would like to begin here with all of you with a very simple quiz. The only rule is everyone participates. 3 questions that we call as do now. All you need to do is to raise your hand with your finger to communicate what's the right response. Yeah, let's do an example. Akanksha runs 26 schools in 3 cities, Mumbai, Pune, and Nagpur. What are the grades when we start and end our schools? Yeah, option 1, grade 1 to grade 12. Option 2, grade junior kindergarten to grade 10. Option 3, grade 1 to grade 10. All right. Many folks have not come fully prepared with their assignments. It is kindergarten all the way through grade 10. So the students stay with us for 12 years. Let's test your knowledge about India's wealthiest city, Mumbai. What do you believe is the cost per pupil that Mumbai city government spends on every single child enrolled in the public school? Option 1, 50,000 rupees. Option 2, 75,000 rupees. Option 3, 100,000 rupees per annum. Rebecca, Nitin, both of you got that wrong. It is mind-boggling 100,000 rupees per child per annum, which includes everything, CapEx and everything. Ready? Last 2 questions. How many schools do you think Mumbai city government runs today? 500, 1,300, 2,000. Very quick. Yep, it's 1,300. Final one. How many of these schools, estimate, go all the way up to 10th grade? That's a critical milestone in India at the age of 15. How many of these schools go all the way up to 10th grade? 100%? 50%? 10%? None of the above. Less than 10%. 14 years ago, when I was a Teach for India fellow, teaching 53 4th graders, this statistic that there were 108 schools that went all the way up to 10th grade out of 1,250 schools in Mumbai became my why to stay back in education. I was pained, shocked, and angry. And so 10 years ago, with my best friend Vandana backing the idea of setting up Akanksha's first standalone secondary school, I became the proud principal of 2 of the most incredible alumni that I would like for you to meet today. First, Shlok, who grew up in Yerwada, Pune's one of the biggest slum communities, where the primary occupation of the families is to brew liquor at home. Yes, I'm not kidding. And the first time that I met Shlok in a 10 feet by 10 feet home with blaring TV, he was the one sitting in the corner, sincerely completing his notes. But that was not what struck me. It was the audacity of his dream. He said, Bhaiya, I want to go where no child of Yerwada has gone today and make my mother proud. And on the other hand, I met Shruti, the quintessential, rebellious, restless teenager who sized me up from top to bottom and wondered, how can this guy be my principal? And yet, I was struck by her dream to come back to her community to uplift the women and children who were facing abuse after she became a psychologist. Shruti, Shlok, it's been 10 years. Talk a little bit. Would love to hear a little bit more about both of your journeys.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm Shlok Sadlapurkar. I'm 23 years old, and I'm from Pune. My mom, she works as a beautician, and my brother, he's currently finishing his computer science degree in Pune. Something about me, it was a stroke of luck that I stumbled upon Akanksha. Till 7th grade, I was learning in a public school, and after that, I did not know where I was going to go. Going to private school would be very expensive, and my family could not afford it. But luckily, I was able to go to an Akanksha school, after which my life changed, and I was able to learn and have fun while learning. After my 10th grade, I went to United World College of India, after which I got a full ride scholarship to Wartburg College, and currently I'm working as a research assistant at Vanderbilt University.
Hello everyone, I am Shruti Belitkar. I am also 23 years old and also from Pune. My family consists of my mom, who works as a staff member at a private school, and a younger sister who is currently working at a clinic in Pune. So after grade 10, similar to Shlok, I also got selected to study at the Mahindra United World College of India, which was followed by a full ride scholarship to Orlam College in Richmond, Indiana. Today, 9 years after I first stepped foot into an Akanksha classroom, I am now working as a research assistant at the Brigham and Women's Hospital in Boston. And so what has truly been instrumental for me to get where I am today is the Akanksha Alumni support. After completing my board exams, I remember how the Akanksha Alumni team in Pune has helped me apply for UWC application and also look for higher education or like junior colleges in Pune. They also helped me look for scholarships so I can come to the US and continue my liberal arts education. But you know, it did not end there. When I came to the US 5 years ago, the Akanksha Education Fund became my home over here. It was through them I got to meet with many beautiful and kind Akanksha mentors who've given me internship opportunities and have also given me very helpful career advice. So,
thank you both. Just for perspective, over the last 7-8 years, Akanksha Foundation has had the highest number of students selected in United World Colleges from any nonprofit. And every time that I listen to their stories, Shlok and Shruti, I'm reminded of the incredible role that our excellent educators play in the lives of our students. Could you both just share a single instance or memory that's shaped who you are today?
Yes, Bhaiya, you remember how both Shlok and I have experienced alcoholism and domestic violence at our home every single night.
And because of that, Akanksha School became like a safe haven where our teachers, rather than being our teachers, they became didis and bhaiyas, which is older sister and older brother, where they instilled the value of be the change in our life. So thank you for that.
Mm-hmm. And I remember one night when my parents had a huge fight and I was really disturbed and anxious about it. The next day when I went to my school, I couldn't really focus in any of my classes. And so I decided to just leave the class and just sit outside in the hallway. My language teacher, Manjusha Didi, she saw me there deep in my thoughts, almost crying, and she came to me. She left all her work. She came to me, sat next to me, and I opened up to her about the issues. And she told me that it is in our resilience and perseverance, both of which are Akanksha's values, that take us beyond our circumstances. And over the years, it wasn't just her career advice that has stayed with me, but it was also her selfless act of listening compassionately, of caring for people. And Shlok, do you remember how friendly and open-minded and also approachable Manisha Didi was? It was the best thing ever. And ever since then, I've learned to listen and care for people around me and be more compassionate.
Yeah, the story that I was going to share was about actually Saurabh Bhaiya.
I did not put him up for it.
But yeah, he wanted to understand how we lived at our houses. And rather than using his personal vehicle, he instead decided to come in a public bus. And this was during rush hour. And in India, I don't know if you have seen pictures or not, but during rush hour, everything is very crowded. There is no space to stand. And he still came in the public bus. And I still remember some of my friends talking and saying how awesome he was and how inspiring he was that he actually came to our houses. That instilled a very important lesson in my heart, which is to put yourself in other people's shoes. A lot of people say that you need to put yourself in other people's shoes, but he is a living example of how you should do it. So thank you, Bhaiya.
Thank you. I am overwhelmed, and we are a little short on time, so we will still cover a couple of questions, Shruti and Shlok. Would love to hear, is there a particular practice from our classrooms and schools that have stayed with both of you and shaped who you are today as well?
Yes, so for context, our Akanksha schools have a very rigorous extracurricular program that includes sports and interest-based clubs. And I happened to be participating in the dance club at that time. And it was through the dance club that I really got a chance to explore myself through music and through body movement. And over the years, I've kept doing that at UWC, in my college, and even now. And looking back at it, it all stemmed from the encouragement and support from Akanksha teachers that has made me keep my creative side active. And so the core practice of creativity and keeping that active in your routine, and for me was through dancing. It gave me a chance to reflect on myself, let go of negative emotions, and overall just be present in the moment.
So both of you, do you remember Mangal Bhaiya?
Mm-hmm.
One of our science teachers. And I remember talking with him about space and all the nerdy stuff. And at one point, we were talking about the information paradox. And I did not know what it was. And instead of dismissing my curiosity, he instead told me to just go on the internet and look what it was. That did two things for me, actually. First, it helped me overcome my shyness and always ask the question. And the second is understand the why behind the answers that you're given. How this has helped me in my life, even now, it has helped me expand my knowledge and make me a critical thinker and a problem solver. And this has helped me both in my academic life and my personal life as well.
Thank you.
Bhaiya, now it's our turn to ask you a question.
Go for it.
What do you think India needs right now in terms of education?
And also with that, what do you think is the vision of Akanksha for the next few years?
Thank you. I know it's a super loaded question now that you have your opportunity. By 2030, India will have almost 600 million youth around the age of 25, highest anywhere in the world. And like Sandeep made the case of reinventing and reimagining schools, we at Akanksha continue to believe that we need proof points in terms of schools that are reimagining learning and young people like you who are demonstrating that it's possible to break out of the cycle of intergenerational poverty. And so while we have come a long way, we still have a long way to go. So we are adopting what we call as a new strategic framework of prove, multiply, and amplify, where we will be focused on three things. One, fundamentally reimagine, redesign our 26 schools that cater about 14,000 students today, put all our 5,000 plus alumni on the pathway out of poverty. Second, we are planning to set up far more innovative school models like the way Sandeep mentioned in a couple of new cities up to 8 to 10. And third, really turn our schools into labs where we can research, create evidence, codify, and share those practices with public school system in India. We've already initiated that progress. We are currently partnering with 250 schools in Nagpur and Pimpri Chinchwad, serving close to 50,000 students funded by the Dell Foundation over a 4-year project. I have my final question with both of you. As we look ahead, what is that one thing that you would ask Akanksha to never forget?
I think for me, it is to continue to hold higher expectation of every single child, regardless of their circumstances, just like how you did for both Shlok and I.
Shlok?
Yeah, you talked about poverty, and I think something that might help every child is mastery, agency, and one more thing, sorry.
A sense of purpose.
It was sense of purpose, yes. So yeah, I think that's going to help out, yeah.
Thank you both. That is indeed our Akanksha student vision, that every graduate finishes Akanksha experience with a sense of mastery, a sense of agency, and a sense of purpose to be able to give back to the community where they come from. Thank you both.
Yeah. Okay, before we conclude this wonderful evening together, I would like to call one of the most awesome Akanksha alumna on stage. Please, Tejashree. She's going to express her emotions using spoken word poetry. So please give a hand for her.